Welcome to the Otaku podcast, everybody. My name is Braxton.
And I'm Taylor Fry. This podcast is for otakus by otakus.
In this episode of the Otaku podcast, part 3 and part 4 of A Beginner's Guide to Anime. Now today we are unfortunately back in a different setting, this time with microphones that do not sound like the studio microphones that we've had for the past few weeks. Do you want to explain?
Yes, it's very hard to get into the studio and to schedule our time in it, so sadly it will not be an every episode thing. If the camera quality ends up being too bad by the time we end up editing the video, this will probably be an audio only thing, so you won't be able to see the cameras and whatnot. Sadly, the microphones are lower quality though.
Unfortunately, I tried to buy like studio quality camera or studio quality microphones, but they are about probably like $200, and you know I don't have the money for that, so we have to go with a tinier, like, kind of boom mic style microphone.
It's still pretty good. It's what we're using right now.
It's not terrible. It's just it catches a lot of like background noises and echoes.
We should be able to cut that out in editing, though.
Yeah, as long as we just don't clap.
Yeah, clapping is very painful to hear.
All right.
In this mic.
So today we have a list of mostly slice of lives that we're going to be talking about today. I have a picture here of them listed up. Since I'm a slice of life guy. Okay, I know a lot about these kinds of animes and how the stories are, the characters and stuff like that, although I'm going to mess up a lot because of the fact that, well, it's been a while since I watched these Slice of Lives.
Yes, I don't really watch Slice of Lives much, so Taylor's really going to be taking the lead in the discussions for these next 2 episodes.
And for many people who are watching this are probably like, God dang it, not him. But who knows. All right.
Oh yeah, Team Braxton.
Don't make that trending on Twitter. If that trends on Twitter, I'm going to cry.
Trends on Twitter, I'll be kind of happy.
All right. So we're gonna lead things off here with possibly one of the more wholesome animes that I've seen in quite some time. Not Domestic Girlfriend. So try not to...
There's holes.
There's holes.
Not wholesome.
And it's not wholesome at all. Well, maybe it is. Who knows? Just be careful when rubbing that against the table, because it may catch up on this mic.
Oh, sorry.
All right. So this one... let me try to attempt its Japanese name. It's titled Karakai Jozo no Takachi-san, which is skill teaser Takachi-san. All right. So the premise of the skill teaser Takachi-san anime series is it's a group of middle schoolers, a pair of middle schoolers. It's a girl named Takachi, and the boy is named Nishikita. Nishikita always gets picked on by Takachi. All the time. It's like all the time. She picks on Nishikita in like every way possible. And Nishikita tries to get her back in several like different ways. Whether it be like trying to do like a builds like in the first part. Builds a box and he tries to make it to her when Takachi opens it, it pops out with like something to scare her. Mm-hmm. It ends up like kind of firing back at him in some way.
I'd laugh if we just smacked her in the face and knocked her out.
The entire series is very wholesome indeed, because it's, you know, Takachi is just like teasing the heck out of Nishikita. And
sounds like bullying.
It kind of is, but...
Oh, wow. Wholesome bullies.
Wholesome bullying.
Yeah,
but,
wholesome bullying.
It's actually because Takachi actually likes Nishikita.
That's one sure way to show it.
Yeah, that is, to be honest.
Say, hey, I like you. I'm going to make your life hell.
Pretty much. That's how it is in that series. So, that's very wholesome indeed. Well, the next 2, they are kind of deep. They're kind of deep slice of lives. And I put these 2 right next to each other because they're super similar when I watched them. The first one that I'll talk about is called the Hang and I series. The Hang and I. This series revolves around a character named... I'll look that up real quick. Give me 1 second. While that loads, I'll continue discussing the story. But he is he's treated as a delinquent because he has blonde hair and, you know, people just find him like super scary. He ends up running into this girl, and she's called Yozura. Mm-hmm. He runs into her talking to herself because she has no friends, but she's like really good at school and stuff, just in general. They make this club where the whole premise is to make friends, to make, better friends. And as the group starts to evolve, girls like this girl named
Sana.
come along, a girl named Rika, she comes in.
Sana
Is like a perfect girl, but she's a rich, perfect girl, but Yozora always ends up like bullying her, calls her like meat and stuff like that. And
Sana,
of course, doesn't like that too much.
Sounds like a harem.
It is, actually. It kind of is a harem anime when you think about it. Let me scroll down and find it, because I completed both the first season and the second series. I enjoyed the second season more than the first season. I don't know why. I don't know why that is. It's just I enjoyed watching both the first season and the second series. It's just the thing with the second season is that the way they ended it really kind of upset me a little bit.
So good anime, just not a good ending.
Not a good ending for the second season, and especially because this series is known for its terrible light novel ending. Like, the light novel has a very terrible ending. It's not sad, it's just a very anticlimactic
Very
ending.
abrupt, just cut it off, we don't want to do it
Yeah.
anymore kind of ending.
It's not that, it's like that's not the ending that was supposed to happen at all. It was just like, why have
So
that
they were
ending
building it up to like some kind of like really cool ending, and then they just cut it off and it's like, nah, here's a boring one, we're done with it kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't really want to. I'll spoil it a little bit, but I won't say who he ends up getting with. So
Spoilers.
it's a little bit of spoiler. So the main character is named Kotaka. He is going to end up getting with one of them. Mm-hmm. However, the rest of them are going to end up like fighting over him, even though he's already dating one of them. Mm-hmm. And what ends up happening is, instead of a happy ending with with Kotaka getting with one of the girls, instead he doesn't date any of them. They just go back to doing what they were doing back in the first volume. That's literally what they end up doing.
Stupid.
Yeah, that's why I don't like that series.
It's like, oh, hey, you know what we've been building up for the seasons? Yeah, just scrap that. They all don't care about each other. They're all gone, whatever.
Exactly. But, everybody in the group, there's Rika, like I said, there's Senna, there's Yozora, there's Katie, or Kate, there's Kobato, who is Kotaka's little sister, there's Maria, who's Kate's little sister. She's a freaking devil. And then there's Yukimura, which she's a freaking cutie. Okay, in the first season, she is introduced as a male, and it turns out it's a girl. The only reason
the reverse of what you like.
Yeah. What? Wait, hold up.
He
hold
said
up.
yes.
Hold up.
He said yes.
Hold up.
He said yes.
Hold up there, little buddy. Okay.
I mean, her little buddy.
Hey. Okay. And the second one, I'm going to transition.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is mostly popular. Like, in the slice of life, psychological kind of situation. This is probably the most popular. And I put this underneath Haganai because it's super similar. It is called the My Romantic Teen Comedy Snafu series. And I did show you the first few episodes of this,
Yes,
actually.
the main character, I kind of like him. He self-deprecates himself a lot, and it's
Yes.
kind of entertaining. But, it's also a love-hate relationship with him, because it's like, yeah, it's kind of funny, but he's also such a big bitch. I'd rather him stand up for himself and get his just f***ing beat.
Yeah. Okay, so the first season aired in spring 2013. That was made by Brian's Base. However, the next two seasons were made by Feel Studio, which the second season, oh my god, it's so freaking amazingly animated. That's getting a dub that I'm actually starting to watch. I watched the first season both subbed and dubbed. But the story is our main character, Hikigaya Hachiman. He has a very sour look on life. Okay? He hates how people are living their adolescent lives in a happy manner. They are all liars, as he says. When asked about his future, he simply responds with not working. His teacher then forces him to join a volunteer service group or service club, and the president happens to be the cutest girl in the club, which is her name is Yukinosha Yukino. The thing about the characters' names that I found out is they're named super similarly because of the author's name is like basically a super similar name. I can't pronounce his name unfortunately, but it's like one of the girls' names is Yui Yuigahama, Ikigai Hachiman, and then Yukino Yukioshina. See, it's hard to say.
Gotcha. So their first and last names both sound very similar to each other.
Yes, gotcha. It's just you have to like maybe add.
So kind of like some alliteration.
Yeah. In this series, you'll quickly find that Hikigai Hachiman is the most relatable character you'll probably ever find.
He's almost too unrelatable in my opinion.
Well,
he's just such a.
He just has a sour look on life, and
but he's getting bullied. He just sits there and takes and just doesn't care.
Well, the way that near the end of the first season, he's faced with the situation to where he has to convince a girl to go back into their festival to do the closing ceremony. This is on episode 12, and his way of doing it involves him hurting himself along with hurting the girl, because what ends up happening is. It's all like all the natural stuff that's going on. It's like, oh, I've been doing such a terrible job, blah, blah, blah. And then like the group that's trying to aid her to come back is all like, no, you're doing such a good job. Come back. Everybody's, waiting for you. And then she's all like, I'm just the worst. And then Hachiman's just like, you are the worst. You are definitely the worst person. And, but it's just because, like, the more you look into the series and more, like, the research that you do into this, because it's not easy. It's, like, kind of the messages that are being sent are somewhat kind of difficult to interpret, especially because the way they're trying to speak it is not, like, very easy.
Very obscure.
Yes. It's like, it's not just like, oh, here's the reason why, he's being like this is because it's not, like, easily said. You have to like kind of like think in your mind and interpret it in your way. But it's just because as he was growing up, he's had like terrible times with friendships and relationships. He's been like betrayed several times, and in his high school days, he just does not want to have any of that. He basically doesn't trust anybody, because he knows that if he becomes friends with somebody, there's probably a chance that, he's going to get like general happiness, and it's just all going to go away. And then he's just going to be left with nothing. So he just tries to not make any friends, so that way he doesn't have to feel happy.
Yeah, it's like the whole concept of stay away from people so you don't fall in love, so you don't get heartbroken kind of thing.
Yeah. That's exactly what that is. And the unfortunate thing about when you watch the My Romantic Teen comedy series is like all the people that Hikigai is around start to care for him a lot more. But Hiki just still doesn't he doesn't want to try and do anything genuine until like near the end of the second season.
Jesus.
It's a little dark, and that's why I put Hang and I and the Snafu series together, because they're all so similarly dark. But to move things on, make things a little more happier, I put two series that are more lighthearted, I guess. And this first one is called the Himoto Umaru-chan series. It is possibly, this character is the most annoying character you'll ever meet because of how I'm going to talk about it. Oh, wow.
Can't wait to watch that. The most annoying character.
She's not like a bitch or anything. She's just annoying because she's a little sister. So let me explain the story.
Oh, yeah. Hate siblings.
All right.
Hate kids anyways.
Same. All right, so this aired back in summer 2015. It was made by Doga Gobo Studios. It's this girl named Umaru Doma. But she is a very perfect girl in her school. Okay, she's like top of the class. She's very good at athletics. She's good at doing music. She's good at everything. It's just when she gets home, she's the literal opposite of that. She literally turns into a little himoto, which is a slob. Like the room that, like, it's an apartment that she lives with her brother, and trying to think here. The room is just a mess because she is an otaku. She has her computer. It's all littered with pop bottles, excuse me. She wants chip.
Unlabeled, no sponsors.
Yes.
Well, we don't have sponsors.
Not yet.
Well, it won't happen for a while, I'm betting, but...
Yeah. It's littered with, like, chip bags. It's littered with mangas. you know, like an otaku basically. And she ends up somehow making a good amount of friends, but that's only because they don't know of her little like dirty side, or not that side, but like the himoto side. I'm gonna beat you.
Silence your phone. That is incredibly unprofessional.
God.
Yeah, you really need to learn to silence your phone.
You know what? I need to get rid of my phone. How about that?
Mm-hmm.
Get rid of technology. I can last. Anyway,
Yeah, how would this last?
I don't know actually.
Oh.
Probably like a day. But the series, while the character herself annoys her brother, it's kind of wholesome in some way because it's kind of relatable. If you have a little sister, you'll find this series quite annoying. And I do have a little sister myself. So I found what Umaru does to be basically what my little sister does whenever I visit her.
So very relatable for older siblings.
Pretty much. So I know Braxton hasn't had any time to talk about any animes yet, but he will be able to do about 3 in a row after I do my next one. This one has the most memed intro I think anybody has ever seen in anime history.
Oh, I know exactly what one it
It's
is.
the Blend S series.
Smile, sweet, sadistic. You know that one.
Yes. I watched this series. I started watching the series because of that intro. Not only is the intro freaking good, okay, like the song itself is
I
catchy.
love the memes of it.
Yeah, the series itself is also pretty good. So it's I'll look up the characters again because I also forgot the character's name off the top of my head. But this girl is trying to study abroad, but she doesn't have the money, so she has to go and work for a cafe, which just so happens to be a maid cafe with personalities. She has a very sinister side, sadistic side, on accident. She gets it from her family, of course, but she's gonna play the sadistic character, and she of course doesn't really like it because that's not how she wants to do things. But somehow it works. Somehow she's
What do they do? Just step on their food and say, "Eat it."
pretty much.
Lick my socks, you dirty peasant.
So it's ran by this manager named Dino, who is in love with her, but it's not. It's more the comedic. Comedic. Let me see. Let me go through the characters and okay. So the tsundere is Kaho Hinata. She plays the tsundere character, but she's very cute. Like, she's a blonde and she's very cute. Mafuyo Hoshikawa plays the little sister. She's because they always mistake her as a little kid, but she's like the oldest out of everybody that's in that cafe. Gotcha.
So the whole legal lolly scenario.
Yeah. The sadistic is Micah. I want you to take a guess. Is that a boy or a girl?
That's a boy because I've seen plenty of memes about that. That is a boy. We'll put that up on screen. That's a boy.
Yeah. Hidari is plays the idol character. He plays the idol character because it's a boy.
Does the penis make it better that time?
I'm not going to answer that.
It's an inside joke. He said the penis makes it better on traps.
You didn't have to say it.
I just did.
God damn it.
You can either cut that out if you really don't want it on there. But yeah.
And then there's this girl named There's this girl named Miyu Amino who plays another little sister role, but I think she's more of the pervert kind of little sister.
Oh.
I think so.
Thanks, Japan.
Thanks, Japan! Well, yes, the series itself just basically follows the entire cafe staff just going on adventures and experiencing cafe life in general. It's a very good series. I do recommend this series quite a bit. I watched it for the intro, and I stayed because of the series. It's a good series. So,
did you skip the intro at all in any of the episodes, or did you watch it all?
Maybe one episode or two, because the story does kind of get like a little interesting near the end, but it's not.
I was just talking about you skipping the intro song.
No, I never skip it. I never skip it. It's that good of a song. All right. I'm done talking for hopefully
Yeah,
a
you
few
shut your yapper.
Shut my yapper and I'll let Braxton talk, finally.
Alrighty. Now it's finally my turn to talk.
Ugh.
So, Demon Slayer, or Kimetsu no Yaiba? Would
Yeah,
that
yeah,
be
yeah.
how you said?
Yep.
Alright, just
Kimetsu
checking.
no Yaiba.
Alright. Tanjiro Kamado is a kind-hearted and intelligent boy who lives with his family making money by selling charcoal. Everything changes when his family is attacked and slaughtered by Oni, or demons. Tanjiro and his sister Nezuko are sole survivors of the incident. Nezuko has now become a demon, but surprisingly still shows human emotion and thought. So kind of like a half-demon type thing for whatever reason. Tanjiro becomes a demon slayer to help his sister turn human again to prevent the same tragedy that happened to him and his sister from happening to others.
Mm-hmm.
So, what he was told was there was this demon slayer that saved his sister from attacking and killing him. But as he was about to kill his sister, as the demon slayer, I don't remember his name because you've seen him like maybe twice.
Mm-hmm.
As he's about to kill Tanjiro's sister, Tanjiro jumps in and tries to attack him to save his sister. And then they both end up fighting off the demon slayer, working together because his sister's still mostly human. Like, she still has the human emotions, but still can get out of control. So that's why if you see on the pictures, which I know the pictures are going to be up there, she has a type of like bamboo piece in her mouth.
Ah.
Pretty sure you've probably seen memes or
Yeah,
pictures of
yeah.
that. That's to stop her from biting and attacking people.
Okay.
Because demons eat humans to survive.
I have definitely seen memes before, and it's one of those series where I just don't know if I'll actually get to watch it because I don't know if it's kind of my thing, but it's definitely like a good series, no doubt.
Yeah.
It's just I don't know if I'll be able to watch it because of all the animes that I'm watching. So
the series starts off feeling lighthearted in the beginning of the first episode.
yeah.
And then it just snaps instant to, oh god.
Oh no.
He's going to sell charcoal, so I don't remember exactly what he was going to get by selling the charcoal, but he's hiking back up the mountain, but he notices that it's late, and since they're friendly with people in the village, they don't live in the village. They live up in the mountains, so they can cut down trees and sell charcoal. Somebody in the village said that he can stay with them because it was getting late, and he said yes because it was almost nighttime and demons that roam the woods and towns sometimes too. But that's why you have demon slayers to stop them. So he stays, and so the next day he goes and walks back to his house. Now, what's special about him? He has an incredibly good sense of smell.
Okay.
Like, really good. So, by the time he's, like, half a mile away, he knows something's wrong. He can smell blood. So he sprints to his house and finds his entire family slaughtered. Except for his sister, who was turned into a demon.
Okay.
And demons can turn other people into demons by choice. So
Yeah.
they left her alive just to, become another demon.
Of course, it's like possibly one of the biggest animes, probably of. It came out 2019.
Yes.
It's probably
One of the bigger. Yes, definitely one of the biggest ones of 2019.
Yeah. Because, like myself, just my opinion, I'll probably get to watch it sometime in the near future. It's just as of right now, I don't intend to watch it because it's not because I don't like it or it's not like my thing. It's just with how many animes I'm currently seeing. Like, I'm just like in my little anime listing. I keep track of all the animes and stuff that I've been wanting to watch, plan on watching, that sort of stuff. I have, like, not including the season 2 of Quintessential Quintuplets, Love is War, all the movies and stuff that are coming out. I still have about, like, 25 to 30 animes that I, like, watch. So it's, even if it becomes a thing that I plan on watching, it's definitely not something I can watch, like in a snap of a finger. It's almost impossible for me to binge watch anime nowadays because of how much anime I'm watching.
So, what happens, I think, is the second episode, so it's not too big of a spoiler. This old man who was once a demon slayer, still kind of is, but he's somewhat retired, takes him in and starts to train him. And while protecting his sister the entire time, because You don't find out until a little later, but you can kind of guess what's happening, so it's not too big. His sister sleeps instead of eating people. She recovers her energy by sleeping instead of eating humans.
Okay.
But that usually means she sleeps for quite a long time. She slept for 2 years straight
Holy shit.
at the beginning. That was his whole training. Like, trained for like 2 years, I believe.
When you
and went and wrote a diary of what he did every day for his sister to read.
When you say something about like how she slept to regain her energy, I instantly thought this is like out of topic of otaku kind of stuff, but back in the old Minecraft Pocket Edition days, I have to bring this up.
Oh no.
It reminds me of the old Pocket Edition days where when you slept in a bed, it refills your heart. It regenerates your
heals you,
energy.
right.
Yeah, it heals you just all the way. So if you were down to 2 hearts, you slept in a bed, boom, full health. That kind of reminded me of that. I don't know.
All right,
know.
Dragon Slayer's Minecraft. Not Dragon Slayer. Demon Slayer is Minecraft confirmed.
I mean,
All right.
Dragon Slayer could technically be the Minecraft parody of it. You never know.
Yeah. All right. On to the next one. One Punch Man. You have all heard of it, without a doubt. Everybody's heard of it. One Punch. You know the meme.
This is like top 5 biggest animes that everybody's basically watched. And
Yes. Yes. My big, beautiful, bald boy, Saitama. All right. So, on an unnamed Earth-like supercontinent planet, so it's not exactly like modern day, how the world is. It's all mashed into one big continent.
I know it's somewhat futuristic in some way.
It's not like 3,000 years futuristic, but there is some futuristic things.
Yeah.
So, powerful monsters and villains have been wreaking havoc in cities. To combat them, the government's created a World Hero Association that employs superheroes to stop them because some people are born with superpowers, which is not very common.
Yeah.
But the heroes are ranked from Class C to S. Saitama, an unassociated hero, so he's never signed up for it. He just does it to do it.
Okay.
Hails from the metropolis of City Z. They're named like A through Z.
Okay.
He performs heroic deeds for his own entertainment, so he's doing it just because. He has trained himself to the point where he broke his limit and can effortlessly defeat any opponent with a single punch, and slaying monsters the same way. But he is now bored with his own omnipotence and frustrated from his lack of a challenge.
Who wouldn't?
That's why in all the fights you see, he's just got a frown on his face because he's like... And then the monster just freaking explodes and gets obliterated.
I mean, as much as it would be like such a cool thing to have to just kill something in one punch,
it gets so boring.
Exactly, because it's like no matter what you do, it's like I want something to do in life. I want like a challenge. I don't want to just do.
At the end of the first season, there was somebody that could take more than one punch. It took quite a few.
2.
It was a big boss fight.
It took 2 punches instead of 1.
No, like it was a big fight that spanned like half the episode. It was cool. I'm not getting into too many details, but it's really
I know.
cool.
I can't remember the studio names themselves, but I remember the animators that created the first season and the second season are all different, and I believe not a lot of people found the second season.
I haven't watched it.
Too, like as enjoyable as first season. I could be wrong. It's just I've heard of this series because of Gigook when I was watching the anime season in a nutshell that it came out in. So I remember that it was made by a different studio, and it's, it didn't, I don't want to say it lived up to the hype of the first season. It's just like it was just a little under the first season, which is kind of typical in some aspect when you watch anime. Sometimes the second season's either just as good as first season or not as good. Sometimes better, but that's rare.
All right. On to the next one. Iris Zero. Now, basically, this is only a manga, I believe. This is the only slice of life that I've ever really read or watched. So, in a world where 99% of every boy and girl has a special power called Iris, Toru, which is the main character, he is the 1%. As a result, he does not have any kind of special power.
Yikes.
Now, the powers range from one of the characters has the ability to see through lies. When somebody's lying, they grow a tail, like a little devil tail. That's what she sees whenever somebody's lying. So she has some huge trust issues with that. And that ranges from somebody being able to see probabilities of anything like they think of a probability like if I open this door, what percentage, like if there's maximum of 3 people that could be behind that door, it'll tell you who's most likely, like that kind of thing.
Oh, dang.
So basically everybody's able to see something a little different than everybody else. And let's see. Yeah, sorry. He's the 1%, so that doesn't have anything, so he tends to get bullied a lot because of it.
Okay.
So his motto is minimal exposure. He tries to live his life without attracting any attention, friends with anybody, talking to anybody. He tries to just be invisible so that stuff doesn't start to happen.
Right.
Because people call him a freak, outcast him, bully him, tell him to go kill himself.
Jeez.
Like, it gets dark.
Jesus.
Yeah, the manga gets pretty dark with, like, on how brutal they are.
God Lord.
So, but his peaceful school life changes when a certain confession from the school's most popular girl.
Ooh.
Yeah.
We're getting spicy.
Koyuki? Is that how you would say that?
Koyuki. Yes.
Koyuki. And his mouth begins to shake. Now, you'll find out very quickly that she didn't confess to him because she liked him.
Uh-oh.
Her iris, if she's thinking of something, she's able to see the quote-unquote chosen one. Like, let's say she lost her car keys. She above people's heads, she would either see an X or an O. X means they're not the person that will eventually lead her to those car keys. O means they are the person that will eventually be able to solve said problem. So she sees him as somebody that's able to solve whatever problem she has. I won't get into it, but and then there's another boy comes in later, which is actually the friend of Toru, but tries not to talk to him at school because he likes to fly under the radar, and his friend respects that. But his ability is he's able to see how soon somebody's going to die. Basically, the closer they are to death, the more black butterflies are clinging on to the person.
Yikes. You know, I'm surprised this doesn't have an anime adaptation yet. Because this sounds like it would be such a good, like, if it's done correctly, would be good for anime.
Oh, the manga's amazing. I've tried to recommend it to you, just haven't started it.
Well, it's okay. I'll probably end up reading it because I do like reading mangas. It's just...
And it's the one slice of life I actually enjoy. Because it's a little darker and less wholehearted.
To be honest, this series, it just sounds interesting. Very interesting. How each, like, person... can have like a special ability,
and it always has to do with what they see. It always with their eyes.
Yeah, it's always with their eyes. It's not like any of the other senses.
It's not like My Hero Academia, where somebody's able to control ice or fire or something like that. And it's nothing as insane.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna split this into 2 parts, of course, because
I still have a couple though.
Yeah, you do, but that'll be in part 2.
God, that's not how we have it set up, right?
No, I have one more, and then we do part 2.
Sorry.
So we're going to split this into 2 parts because there's so much slice of life and animes that we have to list off. We're going to split it right after this last anime that I'm going to talk about. Excuse me. After this anime that I'm going to be talking about, we've only been recording for about half an hour, which is a nice amount, actually, especially with the amount of anime.
The first episode was quite long. We understood that, and we're trying to make them a little shorter, more compact, less ranting.
So we're trying to, we can rant a little bit about the ones that we were talking about,
but nothing too huge.
Because we were only talked about like 9, maybe 10 of them today, and we're going to talk about basically the same amount on the next episode. So this last one, okay, this one is very wholesome in every shape and way form. It is titled the Yagate Kimi ni Naru, which translates to bloom into you. Now, citrus, God.
Yuri rape. Disgusting.
I showed him the first episode.
Yeah, and I told him to vomit.
I told him I
got absolutely molested on the school grounds within the first few minutes, and then basically raped towards the end of it. It's disgusting.
That's
absolutely disgusting.
Now, bloom into you is how you make a Yuri anime work perfectly well. Because in this situation, there's like I said, it's wholesome. It's actually like pretty like nice. The animation, okay, freaking studio, Choika, not very known for not very known in the anime
So a
industry.
small studio.
Yeah, but their animation is so unbelievably amazing how it looks. So, okay, the story is this girl named Yu. Okay, Yu Kuito. She's always dreamt of receiving a love confession, but feels nothing when a boy first confessed to her. Back at like the end of, I think it was the end of middle school? Yeah, the end of middle school.
All right, so it was around the time where, puberty strikes.
Yeah.
So
She-
you usually do get interested in boys and girls and all
Yeah.
that.
But she doesn't feel a thing when she gets confessed to. Like, she's always had this dream of, oh, what would it be like if this boy did confess to me? This sort of stuff. But nothing happens. But confused, she starts her first year of high school and meets the beautiful, excuse me for a second, Toiko Nanami, who is the God.
Class president or
It's
something?
not the
Idol?
class
That's
pre-
usually how it works.
It's like a club president. She's, I think it may be she's running for class president. So there's that. But Toiko, or, God, excuse me, Toko, sorry. I had to think of the one scene where they were saying their first names. Toko. Toko ends up, she's the second year, ends up confessing to Yu. And Yu actually starts, like, she's confused about these feelings, but at the same time, she's feeling more towards Toko than she did with the boy. And then in this entire series, it's not so much as Yu doesn't want Toko to do any of the relationship stuff. It's just she allows it, but it's just because Yu just doesn't know how to feel about it. But the more, like in the manga, because it just ended, the more they the story goes on, the more Yu accepts what's happening and ends up falling in love with her more often.
Yeah, and it's not like an unreciprocated love like Citrus, where it's just flat out just rape.
Yeah, this series is, like, in every shape and way, very wholesome to watch if watching, like, relationships and stuff like that. Because it's just two people, finding each other and then, making advances. Not in that way, but...
yeah, so the relationship really develops throughout the manga and anime.
Yes, and there are, like, some, like, little drama things that happen. Let me see who the best friend is of Nanami. It's I think is it Saike? Yeah. It's Saike Saiki. It's hard to say.
Sayaka Psyche?
Saike. It's hard to pronounce, but she kind of starts developing feelings for Nanami. But it's not like they go at it with each other. Not like you and her go at it.
Yes.
It's just, like, Toko has more feelings towards a first year than her, like, best friend that she's had for, like, many years. So
Friend zoned.
yeah, she ends up getting, like, a little jealous. But other than that, like, the whole series is very good. The animation, I cannot stress this enough, how beautiful the animation is. God! Because the manga looks really beautiful. The anime adaptation, extremely beautiful. Like, the scenery looks so beautiful, and
You've used beautiful quite a lot.
What else can I say? It looks stunning.
Yeah, stunning, exquisite, grandiose.
All the synonyms for beautiful. But
yes.
There's one scene that makes it extremely it's the epitome of the animation is when they were standing next to a train station, like with the trains coming through.
Oh no, one just shove the other in front of the train.
That's not wholesome. That's more ReZero stuff. Anyway, they're like standing when the train goes by and all the the wind comes by and the leaves and stuff blow past them and stuff like that, and how the animation goes from like a nice beautiful scenery to like nice little white background with the hair flowing in the wind and stuff like that. God, it's so beautiful. Sorry, I keep saying the word beautiful, but it's actually very beautiful.
And there was beautiful again.
Sorry.
It's gorgeous. It's
gorgeous.
Stunning. It's exquisite. Use some of those words. Christ.
My vocabulary is small, but that's...
Small brain.
Small brain hours.
Too much 2D whamming. Took up the space in his brain.
Not enough 3D. Pretty much, this is how you do a Yuri anime. Not Citrus. Bloom into You. Perfect.
Yes, when it's consensual, it's good.
When it's good. Now,
When it's non-consensual, bad.
and the good thing is they're not related in any way. Good.
Yeah, citrus, they end up becoming related. Bad.
No.
Bad.
Alabama, stay away from me, please.
That was pretty controversial. I don't know if you can say that.
Oh, great. Sorry.
A certain state, more south.
Southern states. Okay, that's still controversial though. All right. So we're gonna stop right here. We're gonna split it into 2 parts. Technically, it'll be basically the same thing as the first episode. I'll talk quite a bit. Rex will talk quite a bit after I speak like 30 minutes of nonsense.
Yes, we're gonna have to go through some vocal training on his vocabulary. You know,
Beautiful.
I'll work with him on that.
All right. So thank you all so much for tuning in to this episode of the Otaku Cast. We'll see you next week. Actually, it will be next week because I'll be able to edit this quicker. It's for part 4 of the Beginner's Guide to Anime.
Make sure to check us out on YouTube,
And Spotify.
Otaku Cast.
And Spotify.
And Spotify under Otaku Cast also.
All right.
Thank you so much for watching.
Sayonara.